Over the years, I've played tons of PlayStation games, and now I'm putting them into tiers from absolute masterpieces to ones that didn't quite hit the mark. This isn't about ratings or hype, just my honest experience. Let's see where your favorites end up. Days Gone Remastered, with which I spent a lot of time, and honestly, it's a mixed bag. Riding through Oregon on my bike feels great, and those massive freaker hordes are still some of the most intense moments I've played, but it takes way too long to get there. The story drags, most characters fall flat, and the writing can be hard to sit through. The remaster's visuals are stunning and peaceful and run smoothly on PS5, and the new Horde Assault mode is a fun addition. This ranks among the great tier. I've always been a fan of the Infamous series, so jumping into Infamous Second Son was a no-brainer for me. Playing as Delson Rowe, a street artist who suddenly gains the ability to absorb other conduits' powers, feels fresh and fast-paced. The visuals are stunning. Seattle looks incredible, and switching between smoke, neon, and video abilities keeps combat exciting. However, the story doesn't quite reach the emotional highs of Infamous 2, and the ending feels rushed. Still, soaring across rooftops in neon light and unleashing raw energy on enemies never gets old. That's why this one lands below great in the good tier. I'd place Ghost of Tsushima firmly in the excellent tier. Playing Ghost of Tsushima was an unforgettable experience for me. Riding through its golden fields and misty forests felt like stepping into a living painting. As Jin Sakai, I was constantly torn between staying true to the samurai code and doing whatever it took to survive the Mongol invasion. The sword combat is incredible. Every strike and parry feels powerful and precise. Sure, the stealth can be hit or miss, but the beauty of the world and the emotion behind Jin's story kept me hooked. It's one of the most cinematic and heartfelt games I've ever played. Playing Death Stranding was an unforgettable experience that felt like stepping into a hauntingly beautiful dream. Its vast, desolate world is stunning to explore, filled with quiet moments that evoke both loneliness and awe. Every delivery across treacherous terrain feels purposeful, turning simple movement into a meditative act of persistence. Kojima's vision is bold and deeply atmospheric, offering a unique reflection on connection and isolation. Even when the journey feels demanding, its emotional weight and artistry make it truly memorable. So Death Stranding will go into the great tier. Playing Detroit Become Human was an emotional roller coaster that pulled me in deeper than I ever expected. The story's focus on androids and humanity is powerful, forcing you to confront tough moral choices that actually matter. Every decision carries real weight, shaping the world and the fate of its characters in surprising ways. It's dramatic, cinematic, and full of heart, keeping you completely invested from start to finish. Detroit Become Human deserved to be in the excellent tier. Returnal has its place in the good tier. It completely hooked me and broke me at the same time. It throws you onto this hostile alien planet where every death hits hard, but every new run pulls you deeper into its mystery. Playing as Celine feels intense, the movement is fast, the combat is razor sharp, and the enemies never give you a break. The story unravels in fragments, just enough to keep you questioning what's real. It's frustrating, it's punishing, but when everything clicks, it feels incredible. Returnal isn't just about surviving, it's about mastering the chaos. Playing Horizon Zero Dawn was one of those experiences that completely pulled me in. The world is stunning, a mix of wild nature and deadly machines that feel alive and unpredictable. Every fight feels like a puzzle, figuring out weak points and using the right weapon to take these mechanical beasts down. Aloy's journey kept me hooked too, especially uncovering the mystery behind her world and her own past. Some side quests drag a little, but the main story and the combat easily make up for it. Horizon Zero Dawn, among PlayStation's best-selling games, lands in the good tier. Jumping into Horizon Forbidden West felt like coming home, but bigger and better in every way. The world is breathtaking, from lush jungles to massive deserts and snowy peaks. Every area feels alive and worth exploring. The combat is even smoother this time, giving me more ways to mix weapons, traps, and skills to take down those massive machines. Aloy's story really steps up with deeper characters and some emotional moments that hit hard. It's one of those games that reminds me why I love open worlds, stunning, packed with detail, and hard to put down. I can easily rank this in the great tier. Marvel's Spider-Man honestly blew me away. Swinging through New York feels incredible. The movement is so smooth that I sometimes find myself just gliding around for fun without even chasing missions. The combat hits that perfect balance between style and control, letting me pull off combos that look straight out of a movie. What really got me, though, was Peter Parker's story. It's emotional, grounded, and shows the weight of being a hero. After spending so much time with it, this game easily became one of my favorite superhero experiences ever. It is definitely an excellent game. Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales felt like the perfect follow-up to the original. Playing as Miles was refreshing. He's younger, more expressive, and figuring out what kind of hero he wants to be. Swinging through snowy New York at Christmas is pure magic, and the visuals on PS5 are just stunning. The new Venom powers and stealth options add so much depth to the combat. And I loved how personal the story felt, especially with Miles' connection to Harlem and his family. It might be a shorter experience, but every moment feels meaningful. Aside from the short length and a story that doesn't quite pack the same punch as the first, I don't have many complaints. It's still an easy pick for the great tier because honestly it lives up to that name. Marvel's Spider-Man 2 completely raised the bar for me, so I am going to place it in the excellent tier without any second thought. Switching between Peter and Miles feels amazing. Both have their own style and powers that make every fight fresh and exciting. The new symbiote abilities are brutal, while Miles' Venom powers still feel electric and stylish. Swinging and gliding with the new web wings is pure freedom. I caught myself just flying across the city for fun. The story really hits emotionally too, showing how far both Spider-Men have come and what they're willing to sacrifice. It's fast, cinematic, and packed with heart, easily one of the best superhero experiences I've ever played. Uncharted Drake's Fortune was the start of a special franchise. Playing as Nathan Drake felt like stepping into a classic adventure movie, climbing cliffs, solving ancient puzzles, and getting into wild gunfights all in one smooth flow. What really pulled me in was the chemistry between Nate, Sully, and Elena. Their banter and teamwork made the story feel alive. The gameplay seamlessly blends shooting, exploration, and platforming perfectly, never slowing down or feeling like a chore. Sure, it shows its age now, but back then, it was a game changer, proving that cinematic storytelling and pure fun could go hand in hand. So this goes to the good tier. Uncharted 2 Among Thieves took everything I loved about the first game and turned it into something legendary. This sequel deserved a place in the excellent tier. From the opening train sequence to the jaw-dropping set pieces, it never slows down. The pacing, the locations, the puzzles, everything feels bigger and better. The chemistry between the characters is incredible, and I actually felt like I was on this wild, globe-trotting adventure with them. The combat and climbing blend perfectly, and those cinematic moments hit harder than ever. Even years later, this game still stands as one of the best action-adventure games I've ever played. Uncharted 3 Drake's Deception is where I felt the true heart of the series. From the bar fight at the start to the insane plane crash and desert trek, it's a non-stop adventure. What hit me most, though, was how personal it got. Nate and Sully's bond feels deeper than ever, and you really see what drives Drake beyond treasure. The storytelling, the pacing, the cinematic moments, everything feels so perfectly crafted. Even the melee combat feels smoother and more satisfying this time. For me, this wasn't just a game, it was an experience that reminded me why I fell in love with Uncharted in the first place. And that's enough to place this one in the excellent tier as well. Uncharted 4: A Thief's End felt like the perfect goodbye to Nathan Drake's story. It's more mature, more emotional, and visually stunning from start to finish. Playing through it, I could feel how much the series had grown, from the quiet, personal moments with Elena to the explosive action scenes that only Naughty Dog can pull off. The grappling hook adds a fun twist to movement and combat, and every location looks breathtaking. The pacing slows a bit near the end, but the storytelling and character work hit harder than ever. It's the kind of game that reminds you why you fell in love with adventure games. For all of that, Uncharted 4 earns its spot in the excellent tier. Uncharted: The Lost Legacy surprised me with how much I enjoyed it, even without Nathan Drake. Playing as Chloe alongside Nadine felt fresh, and their chemistry completely carried the story for me. The banter, the tension, and the way their relationship grows through the adventure kept me hooked. The Indian setting is absolutely stunning, with some of the best visuals and puzzles in the series. Sure, a few action scenes feel familiar, but the pacing and character moments make up for it. It might be shorter, but it delivers that classic Uncharted thrill with a new perspective that totally works. This game will have its place in the good tier. Now comes the game that has to be called a masterpiece. When I played God of War, I didn't expect it to hit me this hard. I've known Kratos as a furious godslayer, but here he's a father older, quieter, trying to connect with his son, Atreus, while carrying the weight of his past. Their journey through the Nine Realms isn't just about spreading ashes. It's about learning to trust and understand each other. The Leviathan axe felt incredible to use. Every throw and recall had this heavy, satisfying punch that never got old. The combat is intense but strategic, and the world itself is stunning to explore, full of secrets, puzzles, and moments that made me stop and just admire the view. What truly stayed with me was the bond between Kratos and Atreus. Watching them grow, fail, and finally understand each other gave the story a real emotional depth. Playing God of War Ragnarok felt like stepping back into a world I never wanted to leave. Kratos and Atreus' bond is stronger but more complicated, and watching them grow through war and loss hit me hard. The combat is as brutal and satisfying as ever. Every swing of the Leviathan axe and lash of the Blades of Chaos feels incredible. The new abilities, bigger bosses, and breathtaking realms make every moment unforgettable. It's not just an action game. It's an emotional, cinematic journey that proves Kratos' story still has heart and power. Everything about its world and gameplay just screams quality. It's absurdly good, and for that, God of War Ragnarok fits perfectly in the excellent tier. Playing The Last of Us was one of the most powerful gaming experiences I've ever had. It's not just about survival, it's about the bond between Joel and Ellie in a world that's completely fallen apart. Every encounter feels tense, every choice carries weight, and the world itself tells a story of loss and resilience. The characters are written and acted so well that I genuinely cared about them every step of the way. From its haunting atmosphere to its brutal combat and emotional storytelling, this game defines what it means to mix heart and horror in the best possible way. With everything it delivers and so much more, The Last of Us easily earns its spot in the masterpiece category, the only other game in that top tier for me. The Last of Us Part 2 is one of those games that really stays with you. Playing as Ellie, I felt every bit of her pain, anger, and determination. The story takes some dark and emotional turns that make you think deeply about revenge and forgiveness. The gameplay is smooth and intense, mixing stealth, exploration, and brutal combat perfectly. Every moment feels personal, and the world is filled with little details that bring it to life. It's a powerful and emotional experience that shows how strong storytelling in games can be. So, mostly because of the characters from the first game, The Last of Us Part 2 lands in the It's Excellent tier.